Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. I'm Matina filling in for Qasim today. And our guest today is Brad. So, Brad, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Yeah, sure. So I'm in Dallas, Texas, and I run a national fresh salad subscription business.
Awesome. So, can you tell us more about what specifically you do and what makes you better than your competition?
Sure. We technically don't have any truly direct competition. We have a ton of indirect competition. Everybody in the meal space is competing for mouths to eat their product, but we're really the only meal subscription service, meal delivery service that focuses on fresh produce based food. So there's a few super high end salad subscriptions out there. They're not just salads, but they're $30 to $45 per meal, and that's cost prohibitive for, as we know, probably 95% of the country's eaters. So we come in at a much more feasible price point that's competitive to what you might get from a Chipotle or a Sweetgreen. We're actually quite a bit cheaper than Sweetgreen at this point. But we're trying to put similar quality, restaurant quality, fresh meals and snacks into your fridge for the whole week so that cleaning is so easy, it's unavoidable. They come in little take and shake, resealable, reusable cups, and you can shake up your salad, eat it right out of the cup, and you're off to the races with a healthy meal, and you don't even have to think about it. So yeah, that's kind of our mission and goal, and we're setting out to kind of become America's favorite salad brand, if you will. So trying to take the salad and turn it into a CPG product through e-commerce subscriptions.
That's awesome. So, how did you get the idea to start this business?
I actually started prepping my own salads in college for lack of any other healthy, ready to eat options after I was eating Chipotle and Hot Pockets every single meal. So I just got a bunch of old Starbucks cups and made my own layered salads, 4 or 5 at a time, and I could just grab them and take them to class. I got the little dome lids that were fully sealed and you could shake it up right in the cup. So started doing that in college. I actually bought the gardencup.com domain around the same time, 2011, 2012, and started thinking about this business plan in all sorts of different channels. And this was before HelloFresh and a lot of the fresh healthy meal subscriptions like Factor started proliferating. So it was even before like Sweetgreen and Salata and Farmer's Fridge, healthy vending, salad in a cup. Really, I think most of those started coming around several years after I started kind of realizing the same gap in the market myself. So started working on this business plan and tinkering with it off and on for the next 10 years through a 10-year career in commercial real estate and prop tech. So yeah, someone needed to kind of solve the salad ready to eat problem. And so decided to leave commercial real estate in 2021 and gave this thing a shot. So we've been at it for coming up on 2 years now.
Awesome. So, what specifically in 2021 made it seem like the right time to finally make this jump and go at it full time?
Yeah, I just think the fact that no one had really gone after salad subscriptions yet, and I think 9 out of 10 people in America either love salads or know they need to eat more of them, and or just fresh produce. And 1 in 10 Americans only reports getting enough recommended servings of fruits and veggies every day. So clearly, I think the inconvenience is playing a huge role in the obesity epidemic and the diabetes epidemic, heart failure and heart disease, and not enough people are talking about that. And I think we need to really shine light on the fact that convenience plays a huge role in whether or not things get done nowadays, because everybody's so busy and everyone's so technology adapted now, and we all look for the path of least resistance to whatever we're doing. So why don't we make healthy habits as convenient as possible? So Yeah, that's kind of, and I still struggled up until, even 2021 to eat clean consistently because of the convenience challenge. So just got sick of driving out to healthy, fast casual restaurants and wasting an hour a day, or worse yet, waiting an hour for DoorDash to show up after I place my order because I'm always ordering in an impulsive, hangry, freak out. So it's 12:45 and I realize I haven't eaten breakfast, I haven't eaten lunch. So I go to DoorDash and place an order for Sweet Green or Chipotle or what have you. And it's not getting here until at least 1:45, sometimes 2 o'clock. It's sitting in the back of someone's hot Civic for an hour. And I'm paying, almost 2 times the cost of the meal for the impulse delivery fee. So with a Gardencup order, I can stock my fridge with 6 ready to eat full size salads with 8 to 12 different wellness boosting produce ingredients, and they're huge. You pour it out into a bowl and it's every bit as big as something you get at a restaurant. And from I'm hungry thought to empty cup is less than 10 minutes if you're a fast eater. So yeah, that's kind of the goal, just making it as easy as possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I live in Dallas too, so for me, the same thing. I mean, DoorDash takes a while, and I see this use case 100%, man. I could definitely use your product. So, in terms of starting this company, what has been the biggest challenge so far for you in starting this company?
Man, coming into this thing, I had absolutely zero understanding of fresh food manufacturing, CPG industry, e-commerce, or digital marketing. So I had to teach myself literally all 4 kind of foundational pillars. It's really kind of a convergence of 2 or 3 different industries with food manufacturing and e-commerce. But I learned the hard way. I think half of my bootstrap investment at least went to tuition. The first year was just riddled with setbacks and losses and hires that didn't make sense for us at the time, and trying different sales channels, a bunch of money in different sales channels and retail. We actually did vending for a little bit, all the while waiting over a year and a half on a subscription website that could handle custom bundled meal deliveries. None of that exists. Shopify doesn't have some native build your pack functionality, so we had to develop it. So I had to become a solutions architect, just to get a meal subscription website, turned on. So, but in that time, we figured out how to ship fresh salads across the country in 110-degree heat in Texas and Arizona and Florida, and we've got that down pretty strong now. We finally have a subscription website as of March that's firing on most cylinders. I'll say there's still a few things on the wish list we got to solve for here in the near term, but yeah, we're finally starting to hit our stride, and we're up like 50% week over week for the last several weeks in sales, almost 50%. Yeah, things are booming. I think we've stumbled onto a product and a niche and really a service. We call it salad as a service, that people really want, really demand. So long as we can deliver high quality food in the middle of summer and make subscription management process super intuitive, there's nothing I think standing in our way yet to keep growing. So we're grateful for it.
Everyone is using technology and having to juggle its demands. How do you effectively manage and handle this situation?
Yeah, for a digitally native business like us, technology is the backbone of the whole business. All of our customer interactions, with the brand before and post purchase are all, happening on technology. So the first thing we had to stand up before we could, even try and prove out product market fit and product virality was a functioning subscription e-commerce website. So there's a whole host of features that needed to be thought through and kind of organized in such a way that made the shopping and subscription management experience very, very frictionless for the customer. So, and the cost to develop custom software is, I had one shot at that. Our first year, we went all in for a huge custom project because at the time there was no other option. Now there's a few off the shelf features and functions with Shopify and Recharge and some of these e-commerce apps that allow for some of the features that meal subscriptions need, but not all of them. So there's still a fair bit of customization that needs to happen, and you really need to know what you're doing. Otherwise, e-commerce and web development agencies will just keep doing what you tell them without, at least the majority, will just keep doing what you tell them. And every harebrained idea you get, this is what we need, they'll go for it. And you'll look up in a year and a half and realize you're 14 months over original timeline and 2 or 3x original budget, and you still don't have a functional website. So may or may not be admitting that's what happened to us, but yeah, technology is everything. So you need to have clear communication channels with customers, email and SMS, all going through technology. You need to have all of your inbound marketing funnels cohesive and all singing the same tune with your welcome offer and your brand messaging and all that. So yeah, everything's going. And really the biggest kind of opportunity we've seen for AI up until this point has been customer service automation and SEO. So I think those are kind of the two low-hanging fruit for a lot of e-commerce brands right now. ChatGPT can help you write a really strong, relevant blog post in maybe a fifth or a tenth the time that it used to take before. And we can automate away at least half of our customer service tickets by searching our help center for relevant answers. Hey, what's my order status? Oh, well, here, I've looked up your order. Here's what the status is and when it's going to ship out. Or where can I find nutrition information? A lot of this stuff is really just simple if-then statements, but we're definitely excited to start leveraging AI a little bit more to streamline the business.
Sure. So you mentioned AI. I guess, is it AI? Like, what specifically are you looking? You mentioned some things in the pipeline to help you guys scale. Is it more AI related or other aspects of technology?
I mean, yeah, our technology strategy is, it includes a lot of different things. The majority of it is still just purpose-built solutions for problems and friction points with our process that I'm not smart enough to know how to leverage AI to solve at that point. But the things that we've seen right out of the gate to solve for with AI are the things mentioned, customer service and SEO, and kind of a lot of the different things that go into marketing and messaging. There's a lot of room for AI to come in and help businesses like mine scale, and get through the very difficult growing pains of the first year or two of startup life, potentially in a fraction of the time. So type in a prompt to GPT and hey, I need a custom bundling solution for my subscriptions website. Okay, here's the recommended React Native code. Give it a shot. Send this to your developer to review, but we're pretty sure this will get it done for you. That's what I envision kind of an AI future looking like. It's not going to necessarily take over the world and all that, but it's going to empower we humans to just operate much more quickly and efficiently by doing a lot of the kind of initial grunt work of developing software, for example, or writing a 1,000-word blog post on the benefits of fresh produce. It can give you a huge head start on a lot of things and make your team a lot more efficient with what they're doing.
So what would you say is your top business priority in the next 3 to 6 months?
Growth. 100% focused on growth. And in that, improving the customer experience to reduce churn is a huge one. Obviously, food production is huge. We're working on sourcing better produce, fresher produce, working on a solution to seal our cups so they last longer, after they deliver to you. But the biggest thing right now is to maintain our customer base and give every single customer a 5-star experience. So there's a few little things, little switches that we can flip right now. I say little, some of them are pretty big wish list items, particularly with the website and managing clear delivery dates and telling the customer exactly when their order is going to arrive down to a 2 or 3 hour window. So integrating with all the shipping carriers, but retention is big. A lot of e-commerce people are talking right now about the increase in CAC, customer acquisition cost. So it's all about retention and keeping the customers you do have for a longer period of time, and hopefully forming really long-lasting, lifelong relationships with them. So we love our customers. It's such a joy to get glowing reviews about how we help people get back on track after an eating disorder, or we've had people, that are coming out of chemo and they don't have energy to get to the grocery store, and they're like, your salads have literally saved my life. Otherwise, I would be eating Hot Pockets every day. So it's been really cool to see that, and we want to do that for even more people. So yeah, we're on a mission to make clean eating so easy it's unavoidable for not just customers who can afford it, or who love salads, but for everybody. So we want to expand our menu. We're working on all sorts of different, basically anything that's fresh produce based that can go into one of our 3 Garden Cup sizes. So got a lot of different ideas for how we can automate more meal types that are predicated on fresh produce. But first and foremost, man, it's all about that smooth digital user experience. So the next few things on the roadmap are definitely prioritized towards simplifying our customer auto ship management experience.
So, what would you say is the one biggest piece of advice you wish you knew before you started this company?
Oh, great question. Wish I had some time to think through that one first. I would probably say, if I could go back and talk to myself exactly 2 years ago, first one would be read every word of every contract before you sign it. Make sure you know exactly what you're doing. And really, I can sit here and say, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but if I had taken 2 or 3 times, the time and scrutiny on some of these things early on, we may still be, a fraction of the growth and progress we've gotten to at this point. So, it's easy to go back and say, this is what you need to do. But, I think in retrospect, there's also an element of you need to just kind of move fast and break things, like Zuckerberg says, and learn a few lessons the hard way here and there. But I think the biggest thing I would say would be I would consult 2 or 3 different people on every major strategic decision you're going to make, whether that's a couple $100,000 investment in a custom website, or taking on a big retail customer and a brand new sales channel. Running your numbers all the way down to the bottom line to make sure if you're actually going to make money on this thing. Don't even if you have a few dollars in the bank to spend, whether it's your own nest egg or investor money, you got to treat every single cent like it's your last. So that would probably be my biggest advice to myself 2 years ago, would be just be a lot more thoughtful and frugal with every dollar you spend, even at the beginning when you're just now starting to deploy your budget. So yep, that was my biggest oversight and mistake, was just getting, I think, a lot very over eager with trying to do too many things all at once, and it resulted in a few difficult lessons early on. So be really, really good at one thing at first, and then bolt on as you go.
Yeah, for sure. That's really good advice. So if somebody wanted to find your company, do you mind sharing your website or how they can reach your social media handles, just how they can reach out to you?
Yeah, for sure. Find us on Instagram at Garden Cup Life, and build your own 6-pack for nationwide delivery at gardencup.com.
Awesome. Well, Brad, thank you so much for your time. We're rooting for you. Hopefully, you guys can keep this growth, and we can talk soon as you guys keep growing.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Dan. Nice to chat with you guys.
Chatting with you.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Thanks.
Take
Bye.
care. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.